And I was one of the early investors in SpaceX, and I said, you know what? If all I get to do is to see these rockets explode, it's well worth every dime I put into this company.
Kimble Musk has often lived in the shadow of his more famous brother Elon, a fact that has both shaped and challenged his own path in life. While Elon Musk's name is synonymous with world-changing ventures like Tesla, SpaceX, and Neuralink, Kimble's name has been less recognized, even though he has carved out a successful career in his own right. Unlike his brother, who has often captured the global spotlight, Kimble has focused on ventures that have had a more grounded, but equally profound impact, particularly in the food and sustainability sectors. Growing up in South Africa, Kimble and Elon shared a household filled with intellectual pursuits and an unrelenting drive to succeed, driven in part by their father, Elon Musk. Errol, a brilliant engineer, was both a source of inspiration and a complex figure who played a significant role in the brothers' lives. However, the intensity of Errol's influence left Kimble with a sense of being in the shadows of his older sibling, who was always seen as the more charismatic and visionary of the two. In the early stages of his career, Kimble was not immune to comparisons with Elon. Their paths diverged, but the press and public often framed Kimble as the quiet Musk brother, overshadowed by the audacious and bold persona of Elon. While Elon was revolutionizing technology and space exploration, Kimble sought a different route, one focused on food sustainability and social impact. His venture, The Kitchen, a restaurant chain focused on locally sourced and organic food, was a direct challenge to the industrial food system that he found increasingly unsustainable. Despite the success of his ventures, Kimble's efforts were often overshadowed by Elon's rise to global fame. Despite his own entrepreneurial triumphs, Kimble has often struggled with the label of being the less successful Musk. His ventures, while impactful, were always going to be compared to the high-tech behemoths his brother had built. Kimble has always maintained a low public profile, avoiding the constant media frenzy that surrounded Elon. But this decision to stay out of the spotlight, while noble, has also meant that Kimble's contributions to the world of sustainable food, urban farming, and social entrepreneurship have often been underappreciated. Kimble's entrepreneurial success has not come without its challenges. His work in food and sustainability has often clashed with the massive, globalized food industry, making it difficult to make the kind of sweeping changes he envisions. There have been moments when Kimble doubted his own impact, particularly when compared to the scale of his brother's success. Still, Kimble has remained resolute in his belief that the work he is doing in transforming food systems and promoting healthier lifestyles is just as important as any technological advancement. In the rare moments when Kimble has spoken publicly about his brother, he acknowledges the complexities of their relationship. Though the two share a bond that is rooted in their shared upbringing and common values, Kimble has often hinted at the struggles of being the second son in a family where one sibling is a global icon. His decision to break the silence after 52 years, as he recently did in an interview, was a rare moment of reflection on their relationship. In that conversation, Kimble expressed both admiration and concern for Elon, recognizing the brilliance of his brother's mind, but also acknowledging the personal costs of Elon's relentless ambition. Kimble's struggle in the shadow of Elon is not just a tale of sibling rivalry, but also a story of finding one's own identity and path. While Elon has revolutionized industries, Kimble has quietly built a legacy of his own, one that reflects his values and his commitment to creating a more sustainable and equitable world. It's a struggle that many can relate to, the feeling of being measured against someone else's success, even as you carve out your own. But in the end, Kimble's legacy may be defined not by comparisons to his brother, but by the unique impact he's had on the world of food and sustainability. His work may not be as widely recognized as Elon's, but it is no less important. And for Kimble, that is what truly matters.
Take me through these rolling on the office floor fights that you guys used to have.
Yeah, so I'm a very strong-willed person. My brother's a very strong-willed person, and we would just get into a fight over strategy, for the business strategy, and we would just naturally get into, well, of course we should fight it out.
And didn't one time we had to get a tetanus shot?
Well, he was holding his fist up. He was going to punch me in the face, and I had no, I don't know if he actually would have punched me in the face, but I didn't know that. He was pretty fiery, and I had no defense. So the only defense I had was I grabbed his fist and I shoved it in my mouth, and I tore a piece of skin off his fist. Yeah, so I had to go get a tetanus shot.
The Asperger's he's spoken so much about, the positive and negative impact of that's what, in your mind?
Yeah, I think that the positive is the genius side.
The early life of Elon and Kimble Musk was shaped by a unique combination of intellectual ambition and family complexity. Born to Elon Musk, a South African electromechanical engineer, and May Musk, a Canadian model and dietitian, the brothers grew up in Pretoria, South Africa, in a household that valued knowledge and achievement. The Musk family was an unusual mix of intellect and creativity, with Errol instilling a strong sense of engineering and technical prowess in his children, while May emphasized self-reliance and personal independence. Elon, the eldest, quickly stood out as the more outspoken and ambitious of the two brothers. From an early age, he demonstrated an extraordinary talent for technology and problem-solving. Kimble, on the other hand, was more reserved, often playing the quieter role in the family dynamic. While Elon was already engrossed in books about science and technology, Kimble, a few years younger, took a different approach to his interests, leaning toward music and outdoor activities. The Musk brothers' childhood was marked by a high level of independence. Their parents, though supportive, had a strained marriage, and the brothers often found themselves largely navigating their early years without much guidance. Errol's intense personality and tendency to dominate family life left both Elon and Kimble with a complex relationship to their father. Elon later reflected that Errol's influence was strong, though at times difficult, and this shaped his drive to achieve success sometimes as a way to prove himself. The brothers shared a close but sometimes competitive bond. They attended different schools, with Elon often being described as the more academic and driven of the two. Kimble, who was more introverted, had a love for sports and outdoor activities, a passion that would later influence his approach to life and business. As teenagers, they would both face challenges that shaped their perspectives on success and self-worth. Kimble's experience of growing up in the shadow of his more charismatic and vocal older brother would stay with him as he moved into adulthood, influencing his career choices and personal life. The early Musk family life was, in many ways, defined by transition. In 1989, after their parents' divorce, Elon moved to Canada to live with his mother, while Kimble stayed behind in South Africa. The separation allowed each brother to take a different path toward their individual dreams. Kimble would eventually join Elon in Canada, and later, the two would both move to the United States, where their professional journeys would diverge. Though their paths would ultimately take them in different directions, their early experiences in South Africa created a foundation of resilience and curiosity that both brothers carried with them into their adult lives. It was here, in the early years, that the seeds of the Musk legacy of innovation, tenacity, and independence were first planted.
The positives, absolutely, like it's just extraordinary what he is able to do. He's the greatest engineer in the world, and I think that's just, I don't even think anyone comes close, frankly. I think the negative is it depends on your attitude, is just he doesn't really have an empathy gene. You know, the sort of, I'm very empathetic, and he has it in a unique way, but
And that means what?
Just social awareness, which would be one, but the other one is empathy around, you know, let's say work, like empathy around, well, you have a life, you have marriage. How is that relevant? Like, it's just, we have work to do. So there's that part, but then there's all the way to just, you know, even with him and I I have to speak out loud. This is how I am feeling, you know, that because of the Asperger's side, where if I say it out loud, then he can process what it is, but I can't expect him to feel it. And but I've grown up with him, and we love each other, and it works.
In the early 1990s, Kimble Musk made a pivotal decision to leave South Africa and move to Canada, a step that would significantly shape his future. This move was part of a broader attempt by the Musk family to seek new opportunities outside of the tense political environment in South Africa, particularly after the divorce of his parents. Kimble, unlike his older brother Elon, had initially stayed behind in South Africa with his father, but the changing circumstances led him to join his mother, May Musk, in Canada. It was a moment of reinvention, where Kimble sought to carve out his own path separate from the dominant influence of his more outspoken sibling. In Canada, Kimble enrolled at Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario. Queen's, known for its rigorous academic environment, provided him with a platform to explore his interests. Here, he studied economics and political science, subjects that reflected his analytical mind and desire to understand broader systems. While his academic pursuits were not as tech-focused as Elon's, Kimball's approach was strategic. He aimed to build a broad skill set that could be applied across various sectors. This would later serve him well in his ventures, including his later work in business development and sustainability. Kimball's experience at Queen's was transformative in several ways. It exposed him to new ideas and expanded his worldview, particularly through the diverse student body and intellectual culture of the university. He also began to develop a more entrepreneurial mindset, a trait that would become central to his career. Unlike Elon, who had a singular focus on technology and innovation, Kimball was more interested in creating practical solutions to problems and improving the systems around him. His time at Queen's helped him cultivate these interests, leading him to participate in various projects that combine business, sustainability, and community-focused initiatives. After completing his studies at Queen's, Kimball made another significant move by transferring to the University of Pennsylvania in the United States. There, he completed a dual degree in economics and business at the prestigious Wharton School. Wharton's highly competitive environment further honed Kimball's business acumen and prepared him for the entrepreneurial challenges he would soon face. Unlike his brother, who was immersed in the world of technology, Kimball's focus remained on integrating economic theory with real-world applications. His time in Canada and at the University of Pennsylvania gave Kimble Musk the tools he needed to build a career that was grounded in both business strategy and social responsibility. He was not just looking to create wealth, but also to make a tangible impact on the world, an ethos that would guide his future ventures. As he moved into his professional life, Kimball was driven by the same intellectual curiosity that had defined his early education, but his approach would always be more centered on collaborative innovation and community building.
Explain to me how it worked where your mom's on holiday and while she's gone, your sister sells her house and all her belongings.
Yeah, so that's my sister. You know, we're definitely a rambunctious group. So Tosca is a very determined person. She's the CEO of an amazing movie company. So I'm at that point 18, and I'm in my last year of high school, ready to go to Canada afterwards. And Tosca's 16, she's facing this idea of being stuck in South Africa for another 2 years to finish high school or whatever reason. And so my sister, in an entrepreneurial spirit, reaches out to, there'd been some discussions already at the time, but reaches out to the folks that she'd been talking to. And before my mom got back, my sister had agreed to terms. No email in those days either, right? So it's like really hard to communicate back and forth. Agreed to terms, had sold, my mom had to sign, of course, but had essentially sold the house and had organized all the movers, packed up all the furniture. And my mom just really didn't have a choice when she got back. Okay, we're moving to Canada.
And nobody said to your sister at any point during that, you might want to wait till your mom gets home before?
No, we were like, go for it.
and then when I was talking to your mom yesterday on the phone, she's like, yeah, I was fine with it.
I think we were all like, yeah, that sounds like the right thing to do.
Versus having waited probably a couple of years.
We grew up as a family that didn't really understand rules that much. Like, for example, when I say rules, I mean more like, hey, you should probably wait for your mom to come back. That's already a rule, but it's societal guidelines to say that. We had this idea, which was a really good idea, although I'm glad we didn't do it. My brother and my two cousins and I, we were working on this idea of a video arcade. We're like, of course, we found a location, we found a lease, and we negotiated for the arcade games, and I go to the city, here, we just need you guys to sign this stamp that we can have a business. And they look at me like, where's your parents? And I said, oh no, my parents aren't involved. They're like, oh, well, we need an adult to sign, someone over the age of 18 has to sign this. So I go back to my cousins and my brother, like, we need someone to sign this that's older than us, that's 18. And of course my dad was like, no, you guys were in high school, you're not gonna run a video arcade game.
The Musk brothers, despite their different paths in life, have often found themselves working together on various ventures, combining their unique skill sets to create opportunities that might otherwise have been unattainable. Although Elon Musk is widely recognized for his groundbreaking work in technology and space exploration, Kimble Musk's more grounded, community-focused approach has often served as the complement to Elon's bold, high-risk ventures. Their collaborations have typically blended Elon's visionary pursuits with Kimble's practical business sense, leading to ventures that integrate innovation with social impact. One of the earliest examples of their joint ventures came in the late 1990s when both brothers were involved in the founding of Zip2, a company that provided online business directories and maps. Although the company was primarily Elon's brainchild, Kimbal played an integral role in the operations side of the business, focusing on business development and maintaining relationships with investors and partners. The company's eventual sale to Compaq for nearly $300 million marked the beginning of a pattern in the Musk brothers' collaboration. While Elon dreamed up ambitious projects, Kimbal was often behind the scenes making sure that those dreams had a practical framework and structure. After Zip2, Kimbal's ventures took him into the world of sustainable business practices, where he began to focus on food systems and sustainable agriculture. This interest aligned with Elon's growing commitment to environmental causes, leading to collaborations between the brothers in the area of sustainability. In 2004, Kimbal co-founded The Kitchen, a restaurant group focused on sustainable food sourcing. The project was rooted in his belief that businesses could thrive while positively impacting their communities, an ethos that Elon later echoed in his work with Tesla and SpaceX. The Musk brothers also collaborated in the development of SolarCity, a company that was founded by cousins but received significant input and financial backing from Elon and Kimbal. The company focused on providing solar energy solutions and, like other Musk ventures, was driven by a commitment to environmental sustainability. Although Kimbal was not directly involved in the day-to-day operations of SolarCity, his perspective on sustainable business practices undoubtedly influenced the company's direction. Kimbal's business ventures also intersected with Elon's in other ways. For example, Kimbal's involvement in the restaurant industry provided a more grounded counterpoint to Elon's futuristic projects. In 2018, when Elon began focusing more on public outreach for Tesla's mission to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy, Kimbal's role in food sustainability and local business became an important part of the broader conversation on how to create a sustainable future. Though their careers have often diverged, the Musk brothers' ability to collaborate and share ideas has always been a crucial part of their individual success. Kimbal's more conventional, practical approach to business has complemented Elon's grand technological visions, creating a synergy that has extended into a variety of industries. Together, they have navigated the complexities of business and innovation, and their partnership has proven that, even with their differences, collaboration can lead to groundbreaking and impactful results. Kimble Musk, while often overshadowed by his more publicly visible brother, Elon, has occasionally shared insights into his reflections on their relationship and the dynamics within the Musk family. Growing up in Pretoria, South Africa, Kimbal and Elon were part of a family that valued intellect, independence, and at times competition. The Musk siblings, despite their shared upbringing, developed distinct personalities and paths in life, but their connection remains grounded in a deep sense of mutual respect, albeit with its complexities. In interviews, Kimbal has often expressed admiration for Elon's intellectual capabilities and his relentless drive to pursue seemingly impossible goals. He recognizes that Elon's ambition and vision have propelled him to achieve feats that many would deem unattainable, such as launching reusable rockets through SpaceX and making electric vehicles mainstream with Tesla. Kimbal sees Elon's ability to push the boundaries of technology and space exploration as awe-inspiring. However, he has also noted the challenges that come with such ambition, including the immense pressure and stress that accompany such high-stakes ventures. Kimbal's reflections often point to the emotional and personal toll these pursuits have had on Elon, something Kimbal, with his more grounded and practical nature, can empathize with. While Elon's public persona has often been that of a risk-taking, sometimes polarizing figure, Kimbal's approach to business and life is more measured. He has spoken about how their differing temperaments have sometimes led to misunderstandings between them, particularly when it comes to their perspectives on work-life balance and personal well-being. Kimbal has often expressed concern for Elon's relentless work ethic, acknowledging that while Elon's ventures are groundbreaking, they sometimes come at the cost of his personal life and health. In reflecting on their family dynamics, Kimbal has spoken openly about their parents' influence on their upbringing. Their father, Elon Musk, was an engineer and entrepreneur, but also a controversial figure in the Musk family. Kimbal has discussed the impact of their father's strict, sometimes harsh demeanor on their development, noting how it shaped his own approach to life and business. Kimbal, unlike Elon, has been more reserved about publicly addressing his father's role in their lives, but it's clear that the family's complex dynamics played a part in shaping both brothers' futures. Despite the contrasts in their personalities, Kimbal has often highlighted the importance of family in his life. he's spoken about the value of having a support system, and how he has sought to build his own legacy in a way that aligns with his personal values, particularly through his work in sustainable food and community-driven businesses. While Elon has often been the more visible figure, Kimble's contributions have also played a significant role in shaping their family's overall legacy. Kimble's reflections also touch on the sacrifices that come with being part of a family, where one member's success often dominates the narrative. Despite this, Kimble remains proud of Elon's achievements and values the personal bond they share. While their paths have diverged, Kimble has shown that family, for him, is about finding ways to balance individual ambition with shared support, recognizing that each member's journey, no matter how different, contributes to the family's story.